and welcome back to My Tech Wardrobe. My name is Caitlin and I do random fashion videos on the internet for fun. And today is another one of those. I am sitting on my floor today because I thought I would shake it up a little bit. Okay. Anyway, we are getting right into fall, and here in Canada, the temperatures have dropped pretty severely. So we are back down to an average of about 15 degrees Celsius per day. So it's getting cold. And I thought there was no better time to put together a little bit of a fall outfits inspo video, or a fall layering video, or Caitlin just likes the fall and wanted to show you clothes video. Whichever you prefer. We know this already, but I love fall. It's the best season to dress yourself in. It's not too cold, so you don't need a parka, and it's not too hot that you sweat your brains out. Although there are days where it still does here in September get pretty warm in the afternoon, but I am willing to boil for my craft and my art. I'm going to show you 7 looks today that I put together that I'm personally very excited to wear this fall, and hopefully it gives you some ideas for your own fall outfits. First up, I went for something that I really think would be helpful for the sort of wet fall days that we've been having in my neck of the woods. So I got a lot of use out of my new purple platform rain boots. I bought these, can you see them? I bought these last year with the hopes that I could wear them quite a bit once, I could eventually leave the house, and lo and behold, I've worn them pretty much every day this week. And this is an outfit that I particularly love because it brings in all the pastel sort of spring colors that I like, but it still makes it fall appropriate. These are Levi's 501s. They're sort of a loose fit, and I think they're perfect to go with this sort of platform boot. If you ever have a platform rain boot, highly recommend getting a pair of pants or using a pair of pants you have already by rolling the hem up a little bit so you can actually let the boots be the star of the outfit. But I would say with this outfit, there are 2 stars, and the other is this very frilly, fringy sweater. And I've paired this over top of a purple turtleneck, which is very, very thin. Especially since fall weather is so unpredictable, you need to be able to have layers you can play with during the day. You can take them off and on as needed. But I have gone for a look that you would basically start off with in the morning, something that's a little bit chillier. So this, I think, is a great way to get you through the day. It's just enough frill and just enough amount of extra that it perfectly works for me for fall. And I kind of feel like a member of ABBA in this outfit with the platforms and the fringe, so I'm digging it. If you ever want to feel like a 1970s pop sensation from Sweden, this is your look. Next is sort of a sporty look. I've paired a black graphic tee with my leather, almost moto style faux leather jacket with a pair of pinstripe dress pants and my Adidas. So I've kept it fairly simple visually, but I think it's still really interesting because the look has a lot of texture and it's just different, I think, than a normal sporty look that you would see sort of walking around the street. It's still very casual, but I think the dress pants elevate the look a little bit more. And it's still fairly monochrome despite the addition of white and gray. It's still very sort of black leather focused, which I really like. I'm excited to wear this one when the days are getting a little bit chillier, and maybe I could add a scarf, I could add a toque, I could really play this look up with accessories as well. So this is a very basic but versatile look going into the fall. Again, everyone needs a leather jacket. I'm just saying. Can be a vegan leather jacket, can be a vintage leather jacket, but seriously, people, you need a leather jacket in your wardrobe. Next is a really fun one because it's relatively new. So I purchased this, what I'm calling pumpkin spice leather trench coat from a vintage store near me, and I fell in love with it basically as soon as I saw it, because what screams fall more than looking like you are a pumpkin spice latte yourself? So This is my pumpkin spice latte cosplay look. I do think it looks very chic. I was feeling a little bit spicy today, so I actually added a pair of heels with this look, and I think it looks very elegant. The oversized turtleneck could read very casual, but I think the heels really bring it all together, despite this simply being an outfit that's basically just a t-shirt and a pair of jeans. The leather trench also, I think, brings some sophistication to it. It kind of makes me feel a bit like Carmen Sandiego, which is pretty exciting. But I do think that you could really play up this jacket in a number of ways. So if you're thinking about a trench for fall, you can really get a trench coat in any material. So here, mine is leather, but you could do your traditional sort of beige trench coat, you could do a black one, and this look would still look really great and put together. So it's really up to you how you want to do this, but the foundation of a sort of flared jean, chunky, really warm turtleneck under a trench is really, really fun. And if you don't want to do heels, which totally fine, you could do a heeled boot. You could even do a flat. For me, I'm very small and I can sort of get consumed by clothing if it's too long or the proportions just don't look right. So I find that having a little bit of a platform or a heel helps me out a lot, because without it, this jacket could look a little bit overwhelming because it's a tad oversized. So just something to keep in mind proportion-wise as you're looking at your fall outfits. It's very easy to just throw on a bunch of chunky knits and giant pants and like call it a day, but you do want to think about what those proportions are doing for you. Are they giving you the confidence you need? Are they making you feel like you can take on the world? If so, great. But for me, I always just want to look balanced. So the heels helped me do that in this case. Next is what I'm calling my neutral mustard extravaganza. A little bit dramatic, maybe, but I really like it. I am not one to do a beige or a camel colored look often. In fact, I almost never do it because I don't have enough beige or sand or camel or any other alternatives for the word brown in my wardrobe. But I do have this secondhand sort of chunky crew neck sweater in addition to these camel colored, I guess they're almost khakis, but they're a denim material from, I think they're from Gap. And I paired these with a brown heeled boot and my vintage 80s mustard yellow plaid blazer. I'm a huge advocate for using blazers as jackets in the fall. So if you think that you have a blazer that you might be able to get a larger sweater or maybe a turtleneck underneath, you can 100% wear that as a jacket out, because chances are it's still warm enough that you can get away with it. And this combo, I think, is just really fun. Going for something completely monochromatic as your base layer and then adding a fun jacket or a fun blazer over top really makes outfits pop in the fall. You don't have to go completely neutral when the weather changes. You can still embrace color or a pop of color, just maybe in a different way, or maybe in a bit more of a subtle way, or a way that's more in tune with the colors of the season. For me, I feel like I look like a leaf pile, and I'm into it. Next, I wanted to show something that wasn't pants. So I do have this leather skirt, which I really enjoy wearing in the fall and winter, with a pair of tights and heeled boots underneath. But to make this seasonally appropriate and a little bit warmer, I put a very, very thick wool, almost turtleneck, but more of a mock neck cropped sweater underneath a very light, almost blazer style jacket. For me, it's very youthful, but it's also sophisticated. So I think it's walking that boundary and walking it in a comfortable way. I really enjoy mixing the textures here too. So when you're considering a fall outfit and maybe you want to use a skirt or a dress that you have, consider the textures involved. So this is a leather skirt, which reads very shiny, but then I've grounded it with the sort of wool of the jacket. I think there's so many fun textures you can experiment with during the fall. You've got tweed, you've got leather, you've got wool, you have so many options. So consider when you're putting an outfit together, mix it up, add those textures together, and that is what makes an outfit interesting. Next is the complete opposite of that. This wouldn't be a Mindtech wardrobe outfit video unless I incorporated overalls in some way or another. So I have these secondhand pair of denim overalls, and this is one of my favorite fall and winter looks because it still is very warm to just wear outside on its own. So I've put a relatively thin turtleneck under my overalls, and I've paired the entire look with a pair of Chelsea style suede boots, which are actually green. They read gray on camera, but they actually are pretty green, which I think balances the gray nicely. And I've put a shacket or a sweater. What are we calling these? Shackets? Are we still calling them shackets? Sweater jackets? What about jetters? Jetters? All right, shackets it is. I got this one recently. It's not quite a shacket because it's not as thick, but when paired with the turtleneck, it is very warm. I wore this outfit out doing some errands yesterday, and I was so hot that I needed to jump in my car and put the air conditioning on during the fall. So beware, don't wear them on days that are still transitioning out of summer because you will boil. But it's just a fun look. You look like a bit of a farmer, which I think is very exciting. Aren't we all trying to get back to nature lately? Last is a bit more of a sophisticated lady going out for drinks look, I would say. Or, I don't know, I've been watching a lot of K-dramas lately, specifically Her Private Life, which is about an art museum curator, and does she have the most gorgeous tailored blazers and coats I have ever seen? Like, wow. I basically have been watching that show and just have been dreaming about going to purchase more tailored suits. But anyway, this look was sort of inspired by that. It's a little bit more risque than you would see on a K-drama, most likely, but I just wanted to add my own twist to it. So I have paired this very fun pair of flared leather pants with my leather boots, and this sort of, it's very thin Henley in a burgundy color, and I've put a very tailored, almost 60s style car coat over that to bring the whole look together. And I think these colors play really well off of one another. With my dark lipstick, it looks really cool. And I just feel like if I had a briefcase in my hand or a black leather designer bag, I could walk right into that art museum and just art it up. I just feel really cool and sophisticated. So again, this is all about mixing textures together. So the jacket is very tweedy and could read daytime, but the pants, obviously black leather, very nighttime. So it's a good contrast, and I think it brings the whole look together and it looks pretty darn cool, if I do say so myself. Well, I hope you have found some inspiration in these 7 outfits, and I hope you've enjoyed this sort of view through my fall closet. I'm really interested to see what your fall essentials are going into this season, so let me know in the comments. I'm interested. Or over on Instagram, let me know what your fall necessities are, things that you always pull out of your closet every fall and you're so excited to wear. I want to know. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, feel free to subscribe. And if you didn't like it, subscribe anyway, because it might be different next time. I've got a lot of Halloween content coming your way in the next few weeks, so prepare yourselves. Bye.